Alright everybody, in this video I'm going to show you why the Jews or the Israelites aren't who you think they are. They're not the African Americans. There may have been some in Egypt and in this group, maybe as slaves or workers at the time, but the chosen people of the Bible, the people who wrote the Bible, that's their playbook, and that's their bloodline, and that's who they're talking about, the Davidian bloodline. I'm also going to show you that civilization, or as we know it, after Atlantis actually, really moved from Ireland or the west to the east, and not the opposite way, which we've been told. Okay, and here's a quote right here, from all these facts, it appears that the population of Ireland came from the west and not from Asia, that it was one of the many waves of population flowing out from the island of Atlantis. And herein we find the explanation of that problem, which has puzzled the Aryan scholars. As Ireland is farther from the Punjab than Persia, Greece, Rome, or Scandinavia, it would follow that the Celtic wave of migration must have been the earliest sent out from the Sanskrit center, but it is now asserted by Professor Schleicher and others that the Celtic tongue shows that it separated from the Sanskrit original tongue later than others, and that it is more closely allied to the Latin than any other Aryan tongue. And Aryan is not a race. Aryan is a culture. They twisted the Aryan, what Aryan meant with Hitler, and that whole Hitler thing. They twisted what Aryan actually is. This is entirely inexplicable upon any theory of an Eastern origin of Indo-European races, but very easily understood if we recognize the Aryan and Celtic migrations as going out about the same time from the Atlantean fountainhead. There are many points confirmatory to this belief. In the first place, the civilization of the Irish dates back to a vast antiquity, and this is Ignatius Donnelly, Atlantis, the antediluvian epoch from 1882. See, a lot of this information has been suppressed and twisted, and we've been flat out lied to, okay? And it is twisted beyond your wildest imagination. That book, the Bible, the Holy Bible, or the Sun Book, is their game plan, is their book. They are the bloodline, the ones who walk on the red carpet. The monarchy, which started over in Ireland and Britain and moved east down through Egypt and then moved back to Britain. Okay? Okay, here, hard as it is for most modern men and women to comprehend, once upon a time the little green island of Ireland was home to the world's original aristocracy. That's the crown, the monarchy. This fact has not been conceded by the vast majority of Celtic scholars, who are, for the most part, in doubt about where the so-called Celts originally came from, and unaware that the term Celt, as promulgated by Greek and Roman mythmongers, is both inaccurate and prejudicial. Okay, here you see the young Queen Elizabeth with a high Druid priest during a ceremony. Druidism is nothing more than Antonism. It's a far cry from the original form known in ancient times, which basis was solely around nature and working with nature and being connected to nature. Okay, these guys, these poisonous people came in and converted everything to one God, or just one God, the sun god, Antonism, Luciferianism, Freemasonry, whatever you want to call it. It's all about worship of just light, or just the sun. And light drowns something that your pineal gland releases, which is called the hormone of darkness. It's called melatonin. And it's good for your health. It's good for your DNA, it has antioxidants in it, and the more light you're constantly getting, the more your melatonin is drowned, and the less healthy you then are. The Ten Commandments of the Druids were almost identical to those given by God to Moses. Richard Kelly Hoskins. Okay? Now, about the Israelites. This is your Yehudites. This is your Israelites. Okay? The preservers and disseminators of Pre-Diluvian knowledge were the priesthood known as the Druids. This word means servant or keeper of truth. However, the Druids were a worldwide priesthood and were not confined to Western Europe. In Egypt, they were known as the Amenists. Okay, the Amenists. The cosmologies and the pantheons in India, Egypt, Italy, Greece, and other countries were not autochthonous, or something like that. They originated in Britain and Scandinavia. Norway once joined to Scotland via a great land bridge. Okay, Ireland, not Egypt, was the post-Diluvian cradle of elements of civilization. Okay, this is your Yehudite Jew bloodline. Antonism is the basis for monotheistic elements of Judeo-Christian theology. That modern experts foment them out denying this fact does not make it less true. The truth is that Christianity was not conceived by egalitarian Jews or Essenes, Medians, Stoics, Therapeutes, or Alexandrian Gnostics, as many misinformed researchers and authors believe. Most of these Oriental sects were branches of ancient Atonism, or sun worship. The same can be said of Mithraism and Talmudism. The Jewish Jehovah is none other than Adon or Aton, God of light, or your modern day Luciferianism. And so I'll post a link to this in the description area. This is a long article with lots and lots of resources and authors. Ralph Ellis, Mustafa Gadala, Ahmed Osman, and all kinds of people. Akhenaten's Atonists were members of the Hyksos. Okay, let's get this out of the way right quick. Akhenaten had a son named Tutankhamun. They mistranslated TUT as DVD early on, which would have made the Davidians, or the Davidians, the David bloodline, or the bloodline of these pharaohs here. Akhenaten had a son. Now look at this. Okay? King Tut's DNA, this is Akhenaten's son, is Western European. Okay? Not African. Despite refusal of Secretary General of the Egyptian Supreme Council of Antiquities. Okay, so here we have, despite the refusal of the, this is from EUTimes.net. Despite the refusal of Secretary General of the Egyptian Supreme Council of Antiquities, Zahi Hawass, to release any DNA results which might indicate the racial ancestry of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, the leaked results reveal that King Tut's DNA is a 99.6% match with Western European Y chromosomes. Now, why wouldn't Zahi Hawass want to release this information? Because this puts a huge piece of the puzzle together. Just a quick side note. One eye. Anyway. Okay, he didn't release these test results, but the DNA test results were inadvertently revealed on a Discovery Channel TV documentary filmed with Hawass's permission. But it seems that if the Egyptian failed, as if the Egyptian failed to spot the giveaway part of the documentary, which revealed the test results. And people have taken these test results, which showed all this on the screen, and broke it down. I'll leave this link in the description area or at my blog. which I'll leave in the description area, but it explains in here what DNA sequences are, and it goes on into further detail underneath how this is bulletproof. Bulletproof. So Akhenaten's son, Tutankhamun, Tut, which was actually translated DVD, Davidian, is Western European, Y chromosome, Caucasian. Okay, and this goes right along with all the stuff they're finding in history.